Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. That intro hits every single time. But we're not just here to sit there and talk about the awesome intro and how shitty this version that we got now. We're here to sit there and talk about Lucas. And it's the truth, as I said. But before we do that, let's sit there and get the roll call. Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Jay Blue is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sean is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yes, and I'll fill you on that. Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ, is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Allison is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Krista Ramirez is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Hope everyone had a great day. It's been 2 days since I didn't talk, and 3 days if you count members. About to watch GH right now. Yep. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I'm good, Blackmon. I had the day off, so I'm pretty happy. I was pretty happy. Waking up at my own accord as opposed to, being scared to shit waking up on an alarm. What's good, Ron? What's good, 179? All right, so where's my... I guess I can have a little bit of water before I have what I want to have. That's right. And what's good, Darby? That's right. Steve is taking some time off. Some people are upset about it. Some people aren't happy about it. I think at this point, y'all know how I feel. What's good, Amy H? What's good, Darby? And I had to put salt in the wound, but I'm cool with it. I'm really cool with Jason taking some time off. And plus, hey, listen, the actor needs his time off, so yeah. Jay Blue says Danny thought he was slick, but Alexis knew better. And Alexis was more worried about those two being troublemakers as opposed to those two hooking up and being kissing cousins. And apparently that's just okay in GH world. That's right. GH pretty much kind of listen, the conversation today, and Ron, I'm gonna get to your question at some point. The conversation today with Jason and Danny should have been, I'm sorry, did you just sit there and say that you kissed your cousin? No? No? No, you're not gonna do that? Nothing major. Spider quick, nothing major. Darby says EJ is possessed by the spirit of his father, Stefano. He looks awful with the red around his eyes. That's also kind of just normal. His eyes are always typically red. It was good, Allison. Oh, I'm so sorry. When I did my my roll call, I knew you was in there, but I didn't sit there and say hi. It was good, Allison. I may see you tonight. I know Dion is doing his reaction around like 10:30. But not a lot wound up happening. Spiderquake. Ron says, do you feel sorry for Dimitri getting arrested? Well, yes, because he didn't actually do it. He's getting arrested for something that he didn't do because of his greedy ass wife, Gwen, who is also spiteful and kind of like, where's my goddamn music? That's what I didn't do. Damn music, God. I knew I forgot something. But what's good, Dolometics? Half of that damn cast actually looks tired. If we're gonna be honest, 179. But yeah, Alice, I'm gonna see you tonight. But yeah, my bad. Sorry for not saying hi when I was first doing roll call. But again, the conversation. Where the hell's my music at? The conversation. Oof, it was good, Dolomec. I saw a little bit of it that you sent me. I'm gonna finish watching it tonight. So yeah, thank you, Dolometics. But like, I don't understand how Jason has a conversation with Danny, and the only thing he sits there and says is, So just make sure that you and Charlotte are on the same page about your feelings. Not yes, that yes, yeah. So I did get it. So I'm gonna finish watching it tonight. I do have to go and check on something now. So y'all know who she is. I'm checking on something to make sure it doesn't overcharge. That's right. And that's the thing, though, right? Oh, to some extent, right? Like, here's the thing. Even it was good, Sandy Moon. It's good to see you tonight. Even Dimitri was like, listen. Here's the thing. When we watched it, we saw that Dimitri was actually pretty torn up about it, right? And so on some level, he was like, listen, I just saw it and just remember running me that whole Emmy ages decades ago. 1 second, Spider Quake. Um, and I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. We saw him tear himself up. What's good, CK? But like he was like, listen, I understand that like I did to you and I did you dirty and stuff like that. I get that, right? So I was like, I understood, you enjoying some of the money and everything like that, but like Homegirl got fucking greedy. Okay, Homegirl got greedy, took all his money and locked him up. Like, nah. I understand the anger and everything like that, but like you locked him up and you took all his money. No. That's why Craig says, I don't know who she is anyways. It's Stephanie and Alex still being dummies this week and blaming. Yes, they are still being dummies, and exactly, they are still blaming Jeremy. Alex put his hands on Jeremy. Honestly, tell you the truth, um, I don't think he was on One Tree Hill, Darby. He was on Dawson's Creek. The thing is, he doesn't get to say how Gwen feels about it. I guess she's more pissed about the Leo thing than anything else, and I get that too. I get that too. Oh fuck! Fuck! Another 10 minutes. Um, yeah, like we saw how he tore himself up and everything like that, but like, girl, you took all the money and you kidnapped him. What's good, LaShawn? So yeah, and yes, and what's good to have, Lynn? Yeah, you're right. You don't. Here's the thing: you don't get to sit there and control how somebody reacts, right? Sorry, this is still up here. You don't. And I could have swore her eyes was brown, not blue. But like, you don't get to control how somebody reacts. Leo didn't have anyone. He basically broke up the one relationship he had. Yeah. Um. The fuck I was listening to this thing. Um. But yeah, so she definitely went overboard. Oh, Golemex, by the way, I'm glad you're here. I saw clips of this British show. I don't think you heard of it. It's called I think it's called Waterpool. It's called yeah, I think it's called Waterpool. It's like it's like a British version of Degrassi. And like granted, I saw clips of it, but like the clips that I saw, I was like, well, damn, like for a 7 minute clip or whatever, like it's definitely one of those shows. Yeah, Waterpool Road. Yes, thank you, Domax. That's what it's called. And what's good, Krista? It's like I was watching some of the scenes and I was like, whoa, this is fucking heavy. I was like, this shit kind of this shit got rampant pretty fast. Yes, that's what it was. I was just about to sit there and Google it. I was like, wow, okay, all right. Because I subscribe to a bunch of different channels, and BBC is one of those channels I subscribe to on YouTube. So um, I think it was colon cancer, Krista. Um, I've seen the clips. The chick who plays Goldie on Hollyoaks was a big actor from there. It's basically the UK. Yeah, that's what I was, yeah, that's the yeah. Okay, so that's what it pretty much kind of reminded me of. It reminded me of like fucking Degrassi, but I didn't know like Goldie was on the show though. How long has that show been going on for? I'm gonna have to look into that. Like how long has that show been? Not so far. No, Sean. Jason is not going after Anna. What's good, Ed? Oh shit. Oh wow. I was like, oh shit. Okay, damn. I would just well, thank you, Dominic. You just saved me some time. I was about to sit there and look like, how long have that show been going on for 20 fucking? Okay, wow, interesting. As says everybody watching Jason now, and they really acting like Danny and Charlotte aren't blood related. They know that they're blood related. They just feel they are exactly Jay Blue. They are distant cousins. Ron, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's just so. I mean, there are so many different reasons, Ron, of why he didn't just have Alex arrested. But like, I think his biggest thing was like he wanted to put hands on himself. Filmix says every time I think the show is over, I see a clip for a new season up. Yeah, I was like, yo, this is I was like, this show it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting, Gomez. Like if I ever get time and I can figure out how to watch it, I would definitely give that show I'll definitely give that show a chance to watch. Like I would. Like there was one point where it's like I don't remember what the little girl's name was, but like she was walking out and her dad was not there trying to stop her and she pretty much kicked the door right into his face. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What's good, Monique? Didn't Jason have relations with his cousin Keisha? Wait, is Keisha actually yo? Okay, so maybe that's why he's fucking okay in that shit. Maybe that maybe that's why he's actually fucking okay in that. What's good? 1 second, man. What's good? I don't think Portia's going to tell. Oh, Pascal's going to tell Sitwell he saw Lucas over here, and Pascal doesn't like Lucas, and he will be happy if he leaves. Yes. Tomax says, "Well, I just guessed, but I was exactly right. The show started in 2006, so we're in their 20th and of wow. Yeah, but if like I said, if I get a chance, I will definitely sit there and watch it because it looks fucking crazy. Where's my? I got 3 minutes. Oh, they didn't sit there and give a reason yet, Darby. Yeah, the show didn't give us a reason yet of why Jason's going to be leaving or a story yet. So Keisha was Justice Ward's cousin or niece. So both wow, 179 said both brothers was involved with their cousin. That's fucking gross, y'all. That's some nasty ass shit. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Ed. Because I'm gonna be honest, every scene with Anastasia is like a neat. 1 second, Ron. Every scene with Anastasia is like a needle. Is you know what it is? It's yeah. It's like a needle shot. You know, she just goes over the top like all the damn time. You know, and it just gets so damn annoying. Like it just, you know what I'm saying? Like it just, it's like you know it's coming. You know? Do you like how? No, Ron. I don't like how Vivian is playing both Eli and Rafe. I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm not like Ron. I'm pretty sure I asked. I'm pretty sure I answered that question last time. I'm not answering that question, Ron. Ask me something else. You know what? I am too. I am too. Um, and you know the thing that's really interesting is that we don't know what happened with the actress that plays Megan, right? We don't know if she wanted to leave. We don't know if she chose to leave. Like I can see her also being like, the head of the family as well, right? Now, granted, yeah, she did OD when she tried to sit there and literally take out her own siblings. Because they may dislike each other and everything like that, but they're not gonna like, you know, fucking kill shots. Oh, she moved back to the UK. Okay, so but that's what I'm saying, Dominic. It's like, was it her choice, or was it like, she? I gotta go and check on something. Or was it her choice? That's the question. Mm, yeah, I think it should be done by now. Ah, I'm charging up one of my devices, and yeah, she got a special leave of absence from her day job to do days. Oh, okay. Okay, okay, all right. Well, that makes sense. Yes, that is correct, Allison. Here's the thing. Lucy's an idiot, but I'm surprised that Sonny actually entertained her as long as he did, right? But listen, if Lucy's gonna sit here and try to get the goods on Sitwell, Sonny's like, okay, cool. Um, CK said, I hope they don't kill off Danny to give the actor portraying him time off. Why is he when did you say he's actually taking time off? Well, yeah, 179. Sunny has been soft. Sunny has been soft for years. Listen. This is. I mean, and I'm just gonna be fucking honest. This is the reason why I don't really care that that Steve is taking time off. Right. I'm gonna be honest. Jason, after the '90s, the early 2000s, his character for me has just went fucking downhill. Right. And the same thing with Sunny. If we're gonna be honest. Domex says it was to bring Bo back for Hope. He was their original villain, so it would be like bringing back one of the original cast and actors for Laura on GH, for example. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, CK. They could. It can go either way. They could sit there and give him the time off, or they can kill him off. I heard. I mean, I've heard rumors, and granted, these are literally just rumors that they are going to kill him off. That's cool. It's Spider Quick, I guess. Honestly tell you, if I'm not gonna lie, I wish I could sit there and say like I'm super excited about it. I'm not dreading it. I just like I guess I'm just not as excited as other people though. You know, Blackmon says Steve said he needs a honeymoon with his wife. There you go. Shit, Ron. I'm pretty sure I answered that question the last time you asked me. No, Ron, I didn't. But I don't know. I know people are happy about it. And see, again, this is my whole thing. Like people are just like, oh my God, Nathan and Lulu can't be together because of Maxie. And I'm like, what's good, Susan? How you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Um, and again, I find the reason so stupid. I find it just completely and utterly dumb. Like just really, really fucking stupid. I do. But you know, hey. Um Hold on. Ed says Gwen is underestimating Dimitri and Gabby, and she better listen to EJ's advice about Gabby. Gabby plays the long game, and she will make time to go after Gwen. Yeah. Um, Susan, I did have a good day because I was off today. I was off today from work, so it actually was a good day. But I haven't did a live in so long that it was like, all right, I had so much stuff to sit there and say. I was like, all right, this is definitely a good time to sit there and come back. Thank you for being here. There you go. Exactly. That's why I was like, didn't really. It just seemed like it was like literally just like kind of left field. Why was that, Sean? Why was you angry? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not to hear on. Um, and another person who is gone. Um, okay, is Emma. Now, listen. For the most part, I felt like her story arc is pretty much over. Dalton's dead, and so her whole mission to sit there and come. Her whole mission of coming to Port Charles is pretty much kind of you know at an end at this point, right? Max says I'll update some more on my site. Remember what you asked me. Okay, thank you, Domax. Yeah, I'll definitely sit there and check it out. I'm definitely interested. So I'm happy to hear that. Um, mm, well, be careful about those Facebook posts. When Robin didn't come back for Epiphany's funeral. I mean, who knows if she's going permanently, but like, I'm glad you're doing the Dolomitics. You have a very creative spirit, so I don't think. Well, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know if she's going permanent. Here's the thing: I don't see a reason for her to come back other than to just to be Gio's girlfriend, right? I mean, yes, if the writers are creative, they can sit there and write for her, write more stuff for her. But like, of course, Dolmex, of course. As says Phyllis said, who might hear when she drug Kane and now working with Billy. This is the third betrayal her partners she worked with. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm glad that she actually did draw Kane because I'm like, listen, I get that Kane is panicking, he's in free fall, but he's like, listen, Victor and Neil were like brothers, right? If you actually believe that like he would do something to like, you know, to Lily and the kids, what's wrong with you? In a sense, like what's really wrong with you? You know? Um, other music I had. Seriously, it just fucking yeah. That maybe Emma will be back for. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible too, CK. Because yeah, like Allison said, right now, like outside of the Dalton stuff, like what else was her or and granted, like I had such issues with that Dalton storyline. And honestly tell you the truth, I didn't even have issues with the story. I had issues with the family. That's true, Darby. That's true. They're grown ass kids. Yes, Ed, and thank you, because I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. Yes. How was I Smith there saying before? I don't remember what I was saying before. Um, I'm not gonna lie, Ed. That was so fucking late. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. I had issues with the whole Emma and Dalton stuff. The reason why it pissed me off. The reason why it pissed me off was I'll have to tell you the truth because of the fans' reactions, right? Like the fans was like, "Oh my God, Dalton is such a creep. Dalton's such a creep, creeping on Emma like that." And I'm like, no offense, but y'all sound like a bunch of fucking like soft ass crybabies. Like, first of all, Emma is a grown ass adult woman. Like Emma, yeah, like people sitting there acting like Emma was this fucking child, like she was 16 something years old. Emma was well, above the age of like drinking and everything like that. So like, people who was literally sitting there acting like he was this fucking predator. And second of all, nobody bothered to sit there and call out Emma when she was doing all that scandalous shit of trying to seduce him, wearing very little as possible and stuff. People were so had so much of a hard on Dalton, right? Like I took so much fucking issue with that. And I'm not gonna lie, even some of the people in the chat, like some people were like really like fucking grating my goddamn nerves with that. Like, so we just want to act like Emma was just like not a willing participant. This thing was so lame today too, Ed. Like 2 days of like kidnapping and like all it really comes down to is Sharon getting in the car, Dom going to see his parents, and Mariah taking a ride to jail. Like seriously? Like that was literally it. Dom was, yes, Alice, and that's very true, right? And granted, I'm not saying like Dalton was like this great, fine, upstanding citizen or whatever, right? But I'm literally talking about that part. Like that was what was upsetting. You know, let's just put all the blame on the man and let's act like she didn't do anything wrong. Like I just wasn't here for that. Oh yeah, Ed, the thing is, Ed, it just made me sit there and think about how they literally. Here's the thing, Ed, they literally systematically made sure that they got rid of the gay people on the show. And since Tessa is bisexual and is with a man now, we're just gonna sit there and ignore. Okay, that's cool, Ron. We're just gonna sit there. They're just gonna sit there and ignore that Tessa's gay because she's with a man now. Mariah, oh yeah, no, her ass is going to jail, and that's pretty much the only people that was on the show that were gay. So I don't want to sit there and say it was diabolical, but like it's definitely something. Like that's true, Ed. And I didn't listen as much as I like Alex. I didn't like the fact that he put his hands on Jeremy, right? 'Cause I should tell you the truth. Listen, that should have been an ass whooping right there. That's true. 179. She was an adult, and she was a grown ass adult. And yeah, she was not there flirting with Dalton, and people like they acted like such fucking crybabies. It was insane. You know, like I said, there was certain people that was like, I'm not trying to shit on people's opinions, but I'm like, calm the fuck down, like. Or at the very least, you want to sit there and start calling out behavior. Do it on both sides. Don't sit there and like, you know, like that was my thing, Alice. That's what I had issues with. Um, was going to give Mariah the help she needed. The storyline was too long and unnecessary. They just wanted to give Abby and Devon a front burner storyline and to Soars. Oh yeah, Soars Dominic. Yep, that's true. That's very, very true. See, CK, very, very true. It's very true. And problem is, I think, um, I mean, yeah, me too, Allison. I wasn't a fan of that. Um, but yeah, now they have a story. Their story is over. It's like, okay, cool. We're just gonna make Mariah crazy, right? We're gonna make her abandon her family. And then we're just gonna sit there and essentially send her to jail. And yeah, it was just like, what the actual fuck? Like, it's so bad. It's like that's the only story. that you can sit there and give Abby. The chick that plays Abby, she's a good actress, right? And I like Devon for the most part, you know. I so don't care about the poor Victor. Oh my God, I'm losing my company. I was like, how many companies have you sat there and took over and destroyed over the years, you know? And so it's like, the fact that like he was just going to get his company back because and Lily, if here's the thing, if she actually went through with that plan of quote unquote teaching him a lesson, I didn't have much respect for the character before. I have like fucking like negative respect for the character now. You know, her back and forth, her back and forth with fucking Kane, and it's like, oh, I'm leaving, I'm getting away from you, and now it's like, okay, you gonna do that shit? You gonna use your own fucking kids as pawns to side with the guy who fucking screwed you over? I mean, like, could they make her more fucking pathetic? Jay Blue says I was rooting for Cody can get together in their I'm not good enough club. I was rooting for Jacinda. However, after the conversation with Ezra and Cody can get together in their I'm not good enough club. Facts, Jay Blue, facts. Yes. Fucking facts. Why does it always do that? There we go. He overheard the plans, Allison. He overheard Marco and Sitwell talking about their nefarious plans of holding Britt hostage and captive and everything, and using her medicine to keep her in line. Um, he could say, yeah, Lily is dumb for being in cahoots with Victor to punish Kane. Victor has proven he isn't trustworthy. Yeah, he's not trustworthy. And, the simple fact of the matter is, like, girl, you used your kids as fucking pawns to get one over on your father, the father of your children. You literally used your kids and pitted your kids against him. Like, you're not even, honestly, tell you the truth, she's not even a good fucking mother at this point. And granted, I keep calling them kids and they're grown ass adults, but like, the fact of the matter is, you use your children as a way to like get back at your husband. I have no idea who Sal is, LaShawn. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Sean. I'm surprised that Christina didn't come at Jacinda harder. I'm like, Christina knows that Jacinda and Michael are together, and Jacinda just literally gave her phone number to a former client, talking about essentially, I got to protect my interests. And Christina didn't sit there and lash on, like, yo, how could you sit there and do that shit to my brother? She was just like, I look forward to the day my brother proves you wrong. Like, what the fuck? Oh, okay. Thank you, Ed. That's true, Ed. That's actually very true. Like, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that. That makes sense, Ed. But yeah, it was just like, yo, so you're not going to sit there and call that shit out? Like, honestly, to tell you the truth, CK, yeah, that is a very fucking true statement. And like the fact that he's not there reading Pride and Prejudice, I was like, bro, she told you how she felt about you, and she told you that the book character that she was referencing later on, she literally sat there and said he feels like she feels differently. She feels differently right now. She in the book she later on feels differently about the character. But yet he's sitting there reading Pride and Prejudice to sit there and what, like, she told you pretty much the ending of it. What are you doing? Not to mention you're on this fucked high horse, and in reality, you've been lying to her for weeks and months about her dad's captivity, and you haven't told her. But you want to sit there and be all butthurt about your feelings being hurt? Get the fuck out of here. Hmm. Well, hopefully they write some good stuff for her right now. Listen, Sean, I am liking this new Willow. Um, I'm liking this new Willow villain era because unlike Nell, who was very like one track. Oh, I gotta get Carly. I gotta get back at Carly. Blah blah blah. Carly, like she is on point with her shit. She told Drew, "I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use your power, your money, your influence to get what I want." Because I'm done playing nice and I'm done sitting there trying to satisfy and placate other people. So I'm fucking here for this Willow villain fucking era. Yeah, and it's at a point where I don't know, Ed. Here's the thing, like I like Kristen, but like you ever just notice that she starts to become a little kind of one note too often? Especially with the whole, oh, I'm going to use this to sit there and get back in your good graces, and I'm going to make sure that you don't. She literally used her daughter as a bargaining chip in a way, like, well, Marlena's not gonna go against Rachel being out, because if she does, then Rachel's not gonna want to have a relationship with her. I was like, you are literally using Marlena's love for Rachel against her because you feel like you're more qualified than a fucking doctor because you're her mother. Like, what? Yes, and listen, I've always sat there and said, like, Rachel is fucked up because of her mother, and all you're doing is instilling more of those fucking values. For somebody who, on a good occasion, will sit there and do something right, like knock out Peter, go to jail for Rachel, which in our reality, honestly, to tell you the truth, even her going to jail for Rachel, you ain't protecting the way that you think you are. Like your heart may be in the right place, but all you did was once again okay that behavior of literally shooting another man. And what does that prove? And what happens when she does it again? Oh wait, she tried to sit there and poison Sarah. And you're sitting there saying that she does not need to sit there and seek therapy? Now, if they would have came to a compromise and be like, okay, cool, we don't like this facility, so we're gonna move you somewhere else. Cool, because I understand that, like, when the doctor was like, well, we can't sit there and monitor these people 24/7. Okay, cool, you can't. We're moving her somewhere else. I can't wait to Chase eyes are open and realize who she is. And that's the thing, CK, right? So like even when he realizes who Willow is and the fact that he's wrong, he was wrong. He was wrong about it. I still stand by Chase's decision to initially protect her. You know, because at the end of the day, you try to sit there and make the right decisions to do the right things based on who you are. He is one second, Ed. He is he is he's loyal to a fault. So while people sat there and said, "Yeah, that facility's bad," I don't see how they haven't been shut down. Exactly, dumbass. Like he is a protector in nature. While people kept saying, "Well, he's wrong about Willow. He's wrong about Willow." Yeah, we know that as the audience, but he doesn't. So what did he do? He followed his heart and his mind and everything like that. So if he's wrong, he's wrong. But while people want to sit there and start shitting on him and chastising him, people acting like they never been wrong in their life and trusted the wrong person or took the wrong direction. Very easy to sit down. It's very easy to shit on somebody else's mistakes and choices that they made and act like your own shit don't stink. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like the family has a history of mental health, really mental health issues. And really think about it. Kristen, she knows she does. Peter, you clearly saw it. Adult Rachel, enough said. You see all those examples, and you think taking her out of a mental health facility is the best fucking answer. My goodness, are you stupid? Oh yeah, LaShawn, yeah, she's coming back. I don't know if she's going to be on contract or anything like that, but yeah, she's coming back. No, Ed, I'm gonna probably sit there and say this multiple times, but I'm saying it now, and I'm not gonna give you any hints. I'm working on a new series that I think you'll like. Okay, that's what I'm gonna sit there and say. Is I'm working on a new series, and I think you'll like it. So yeah, season one is done. Season two is pretty much done. So at this point, I'm just working on season three, just to have just in case. Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna sit there and show it out of the way, no matter what no matter what the numbers are. Thank you, Sean. Yes, I'm definitely gonna sit there and work on that too. Because now I got enough breathing rooms. Now I can definitely sit there and work on it. Sean, I fucking love that series. Yeah. The time period, the fashion, just like it was just fucking great. Like it was just great, Sean. So thank you for watching. So I'm definitely have enough time. I can do season 10. And fuck it, the numbers are actually good. So yeah, I'll definitely be trying to work towards season three as well. I actually already did the first episode. You mean yeah, Miami Vice, right? What's good, Autumn? Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing, Sean. It's always fun to sit there and take a look down memory lane with some of the '80s stuff. Spike Quick says Kristen's 100% right. Wanting Rachel out. It's clear this mental health facility isn't helping her, and it's not a safe place since they failed to keep Sophia away. Rachel needs to be somewhere else, somewhere new, yes, but not like just out out. You know, I can buy that part. But that's the thing, though, Sean. Like I said, here's the thing. It's interesting to sit there and see that era, but like I wasn't really from that era. Yeah, I was born in the '80s. I'll be live streaming on Friday. Friday. I'll be streaming on Friday. Sean. So yeah, Friday we definitely have a good time. Autumn says, I mean, Carly tried to tell Lucas about Marcos, but he didn't want to listen. Guess he has to learn the hard way. Yeah, he does have to learn the hard way, Autumn. But that's the thing though, like people always sit there, and that's the thing. It's very easy when here's the thing: just because she was right doesn't necessarily. Yes, have a good night, Sean. Thank you for joining. Just because she was right doesn't mean that he shouldn't necessarily listen to her, right? That's like Smith is saying, well, just because everybody was right about Drew doesn't mean that he should have sat there and listened to everybody else, you know? Yeah, no, thank you, Sean. Thank you for being here, and then thank you for coming to on Friday. I look forward to seeing you. People have to sit there and experience things in their own way, right? That's the effect of "I told you so" or "I was right." Yeah, it's easy to be right when you're right. Like it's very easy to sit there and be right. Have a good night, 179. Thank you, Sean. It's easy to be right when you're right. That's I'm not gonna lie, Spider Boy. That's actually a very good fucking question. Like, why are you in? And granted, yeah, they sit there and say that there are kids around her age, and maybe the facility doesn't have the resource to just sit there and just do like a kids program or building with kids only. And what's good, Jonathan? Maybe they just don't have it. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you, Jonathan, for being here because I do. One second, Ed. I do got something to sit there and tell you. So I'm not gonna give you any hints, but I will sit there and say that I am working on something, a new video series that I think you're gonna like. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Well, season one is done. Season two is done, and we're gonna be working on season three at some point. So yes, that's right, Jay Blue. Those crocodile tears. But like I said, Spike Break. Those are pretty good questions. Oh, this shit didn't do a fucking thing to me. Yeah, I know. Somebody said the same thing too, Jonathan, earlier. Um, I'm not gonna lie, because here's the thing. I mean, Spike Quick is usually way more harsh than I am on days, but like, I will sit there and say nothing significant wound up happening on days. Nothing significant wound up happening on days. Well, yeah, of course, Jonathan. I mean, um, fucking what you call it still on days. Billy Flynn, you know, he's still on days. So it's like every other day we're sitting there seeing like double Billy in a sense if you watch Young and Restless. But like I said, just going back to days, nothing significant wound up happening. Well, like honestly, tell you more stuff happened on Beyond the Gates than on Days of Our Lives, which we didn't even talk about. You know, um, Anastasia's still being over the top. I didn't like the comment that Chelsea made. There's something about the word mansplaining that, honestly, tell you the truth, just grinds my fucking gears. You know, when Bill was there trying to explain, yo, listen, you're very impulsive. This chick is moving halfway across the world, and you're talking about being fucking married. And this idiot sits there and says, yeah, dad, keep mansplaining to me. I'm like, okay, so when you explain something to somebody else and they sit there and say, yes, please, Chelsea, womansplain to me. Like, I don't understand. It's like, I guess she just thinks that that shit is just fucking cute, but it's actually pretty fucking sexist. Like, it's literally just a man sitting there explaining something to you. And your dumbass got to sit there and turn in some sort of Gen Z phrase, which I think is another thing that's just been like really pulling me away. Susan says, I thought of you today when Anastasia and her granddaughter. Yeah, she is definitely way over the top. 1 second, Spider Quake. She is definitely way over the top. Like, she every time she comes on, and especially with her granddaughter, it's like, oh my, it's like, it's just going to be like I don't know, like a shot in the arm. Johnson says, how do you think Will is going to react with Ivory? He's going to be pissed off. He's going to be, Ed says, I hate that term, man. Thank you, Ed. He's going to be pissed off, you know? Because when you really think about it, Jonathan, like, the show sets it up where you generally dislike Ivory because she is essentially bullying somebody who is homeless, who is on hard times, who is literally fucking sitting there dumpster diving. So I'm gonna be honest. I had issues with Ivory even before. Yeah, Jay Blue. I so don't fucking care about what's good, Booster. Um when they were when they were move on. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's a sexist ass comment. But like she's literally sent there dumpster dive. I'm like, girl, come on. And then today she was like, oh well, you just need to forget about her. You need to just sit there and just let her go. You need to forget about it. I'm like, Ivory, what the fuck is wrong with you? Her granddaughter seems to be cut from the same cloth. Yeah. And especially when she was like BTW, I was like, BTW, really? I was like, was it hard to sit there and say, by the way? Was it, was good, Francis? Was it too much work to sit there and say, by the way? It's like when Samantha was sitting there saying, well, Bad Bunny wasn't avails. I'm like, you really couldn't say the word available? Was that really too fucking trying? Susan says, I wonder if we will go to work as Spencer like he should. I'll be cool with that. Same booster. Troy Quick says, I think Beyond the Gate's acting is solid, but the whole Jacob storyline felt forced and cartoonish. He honestly sounds like a cop. Here's the thing about that, Spike Quake. When Jacob tries to use slang term, when he tries to use like slang, it comes across as so fucking lame and like kind of forced. Like, bro, here's the thing. We can tell you didn't grow up in the hood, and that's fine, right? Okay, I'm not going to go to Detroit and try to act like I'm some sort of fucking street rapper. Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and use like rap slang or anything like that because it's not going to come off natural. And that's how Jacob was talking. Um, it was, and I think that's what it generally comes down to, Dolometics. Like this fucking Gen Z talk that they do, that Chelsea does. I think that's the reason why that's another reason why I don't really like the character, you know? Because every time she starts talking, it's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. It's like you can just feel the fucking waft You can just feel the fucking waft. Like a narc, he's so bad. Yeah, you just feel a waft of like laziness and like, oh, my mom and her factory settings. I'm like, Francis Albert, what's going to happen with Britt's storyline now that Steve taking a leave from GH? He is the only one helping her. So good question, Francis. Like I said before, and I'll sit there and say it again because like I don't give a shit. I am totally okay with Steve actually taking a break. I'm okay with Steve actually leaving the show. Okay, Steve leaving the show for a break or whatever, I don't really care about. I've been at the because all reality, Steve, Jason's character has not been the same since the early 2000s. Okay, Jason was such a fucking badass in the early 2000s, 2005, so forth. Now it's just like, yeah, you're there and everything, but like, your fucking coolness is just not fucking there anymore. And like, Sonny's coolness has not been there in a very long fucking time. And listen, from the actor's point of view, take your break, take your time, have your honeymoon. Um, do you? Well, okay. Um, but yeah, he hasn't been the same since like a hot minute, you know. And that's the thing, like when I do the member circles or whatever, and we watch old clips, and we'll watch old clips, and I have Jason and Sonny and them like. Their characters are so like Sonny. Here's the thing: Sonny, Maurice Menard's act. Well, Maurice Menard plays his character a lot differently back then. Back then, Maurice Menard, I'm going to be honest, I felt like he had way more energy playing Sonny than he does now, right? He had way more energy back then. He had way more charisma back then. Now it was just like, he's here. But like, okay, you take a scene with Maurice Bernard and the Lucy character, right? One second, Ed. You take that. Do you understand how fast that Sonny would have dismissed Lucy when Lucy was like, "Oh, Sit will hurt me. I want you to sit there and beat him up." Sonny would have entertained that shit for like maybe what 88, 60 seconds, a minute at the most. A minute at the most. He would have entertained that before he would have shut that shit down. Okay, so like he's just not there. You know? Yeah, I don't see Sam coming back. I mean, Booster, I would never say never, but like the likelihood that Kelly Monaco is returning as Sam, yeah, I don't see that happening. Like, are you trolling us or like? But yeah, so like, when I sit there and say like a lot of these vests just kind of need to fucking like scram. I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm not sitting there saying that to be ageist or anything like that. But like, the characters are there, but the fucking souls are not there. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. And like I said, I don't see that being a thing. I don't like. It says, I hope Dimitri comes out on top, and it's time for Leo to just tell Dimitri he wants to. Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. Like this whole like back and forth, and um, being indecisive. It's just it's not working anymore. Like I understood like when it first happened, but like she's returning as a podcaster, journalist. We get early. Hold on. I'm not trying to ignore anyone, so don't take it personal. Okay. Listen, that's your opinion. Well, let's see what happens. But anyway, like I said, I don't know who Mackenzie is, so I can't sit there and say that. But people have sat there and said like she should go on different soaps or whatever. Um, so don't regret it now. And that's the thing, right? Like there was some other funny shit that wound up happening too. And I'm gonna go get my book so I can sit there and try to remember the shit that happened. Okay. There's some funny stuff that I wrote down. 'Cause like I said, again, the conversation with Jason and Danny was just fucking laughable, right? It was absolutely fucking laughable. Oh, granddaughter. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. All right, thank you, Ed. Do you like Leo, Dimitri, Days, and Will and Dylan? Ah, okay, Booster. Domex says, "What do you think about Nicole?" And I'm so glad that you asked me that, Dolomedics, because here's the thing, and it's funny too, because when I saw that scene, I thought about you, right? Because the first thing that you sat there and said to me was like, listen, Nicole was honest with both of them, right? So like, hey, listen, she was up front. So, I guess she was kind of like, wow, really? You are mad and you're upset. But here's the thing though. People's feelings do change, right? Like just because you agree to being like, okay, cool, you're gonna do your thing, I could do my thing, whatever. People do change their minds, right? It's like the old saying, like a woman has a woman a woman has a right to sit there and change their mind, or it's a woman's prerogative to sit there and change their mind. I'm like, well, that's the same thing for a man, right? You want to sit there and do this whole playing ping pong between two men, do this whole Stella got their groove back. Okay, cool. Just understand that the participants in this little thing that you're doing can change their minds, and you have to fucking be okay with that. And part of me, when she had that attitude, was like, girl, don't you even fucking dare. Because you're a fucking psychiatrist. You should understand how people's minds work. Like, yo, listen, he might have been cool with that shit at first, but you can't sit there and blame him for being upset. And you sit there doing this whole ping ponging thing between like both of them. You know, and that's my whole thing. Like, so it is interesting because like I wasn't even realizing that they're trying to take sides because yes, on some level, Broski, you did sit there, you knew that she was sitting there seeing somebody else. You signed up for that shit. Um you signed up for that, so like it's like how much sympathy can I give you for that? You know? Like Craig says, I might remember wrong, but wasn't you talking crap about Jacob for changing his mind? Maybe it was Brock or something else. Yes, LaShawn. No, it was me. I don't know. I don't think it was me. Like I did sit there and say like Jacob did change his mind, but you might have mixed me up with Brock because Brock does do more beyond the gate stuff than I do. So it might be Brock, which is interesting. Thank you, Booster. Thank you for coming through tonight from Southern Texas. I appreciate you and I appreciate your view. Thank you. I don't really do couples, so like I don't do the whole like who I like better or who I find cute or anything like that. It's not exactly my specialty. Domex says I'm not Team Carlton by any means. My only thing with Nicole is that she's suspected Carlton was in a different place emotionally and said something to Danny. She was actually going to say something. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, I was a little indifferent because like I saw both of their sides. Like I wasn't slamming Nicole like I usually would. Like um, because why listen, those are the rules that she made. She was having another serious conversation with Carlton, but Danny talked her out of it. She suspected what headspace he was in, so that's shady. Yeah. Um, like I said, she did sit there and tell him, "Hey, listen, I can't sit there and be with you seriously." He said, "Okay, fine." He agreed to that, so like I can't sit there and be like, even from like one man to another, be like, I'm gonna take his side because I'm like, bro, you did sign up for that. But my whole thing with Nicole was like, you're a psychiatrist. You know that people. Um, I mean, I get it. You don't feel bad for him for that reason, but my whole thing is like, at the end of the day, Nicole, people do have the right to change their minds and their feelings, and it's not fucking uncommon. So do not sit there and get an attitude like the dude doesn't have a right to sit there and be kind of fucking human. Maybe Spider-Quake. Ash, like I said, Ashley's another one. Like even today, she was just being fucking annoying. She was Ashley has just been being fucking annoying, and like part of my problem that I don't really care about Ashley is like, and I'm gonna be honest, like her fucking girl problems, like her boyfriend problems, and it's maybe because I don't, but also her personality is just fucking annoying. Like even today, she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so bored. Like it's so slow." I'm like, "Girl, shut up." Like, why you gotta be? It's like, why do you have to be that one coworker that's just like, "Oh my god, I'm just so bored." It's like, can you like seriously shut the fuck up? Like seriously. Um. So Ashley's annoying. I found some of the women on this show just to be also fucking annoying too. You know. Ed says Derek definitely shouldn't work with Leslie and just be a paramedic for the fire station. I think working that close to the fire station may be kind of, a little bit too much right now, but definitely no Leslie. Don't actually, I agree with you. I agree with you on everything you said. Yeah, like that's what I said. Was like I'm not necessarily siding with Carlton, but like if you're gonna sit there and do that stuff, just understand that people will change their mind, and don't be too surprised if they don't lash out or anything like that with you. Um, I'm like, honestly, to tell you the truth, before I even started, I was like, maybe you should just be with one person. Even if it's not that serious, just be with one person. Susan says, since I was late, I must have missed your opinion on what Lucas would do now, knowing the truth of Marcos. The thing is, Susan, I don't know if he's going to have the time to do anything. Like, maybe Pascal will sit there and grab him, kidnap him, throw him somewhere before he gets a chance to tell Carly or anybody else, because now he knows, like, he's a loose end. He's a loose end. So he may want to go to Carly, he may want to go to Britt or whoever. He may not get there in time. And I can see that definitely being like a cliffhanger for like maybe even Friday. I don't know, Spikequake. I mean, see, this is the thing, though, right? Like, I don't know what's the timeline between those two. Um, I just, I'm not gonna lie, Spikequake. I kind of find them both to be a joke in a sense. You know, I kind of find them both to be a joke because, like, it's like what Jess said. The fact that she is possibly Booster, the fact that like she even agreed to marry Chelsea, knowing that she was moving across the world for a year, she's smarter than that, or she should be smarter than that. But yeah, she's still sitting there dating a woman that comes across as an airhead. Like that's the thing. The fact that they're still together, Spiderquake, is more baffling and a joke than anything else. I feel like they kind of tweaked Ashley a little. She's like 20% less annoying this year. Last season, I wanted her to fall off a volcano. Now I just want her to occasionally shut up. Maybe. Pascal, like I said, Booster, I think that will probably be the thing. Because, like, honestly, to tell you the truth, what else is Lucas gonna do? Um, there's not really much that Lucas could sit there and do, like other than like he can't keep. And this is something else that I want to sit there and say. Jocelyn withholding the information from Jack is BS and it don't even make any sense. Because not only does it make her look bad, because Jack has been looking out for Jocelyn. And for Jocelyn to sit there and keep that secret of knowing that Ross is a double agent, having him meet him up, blindside him constantly, is not cool. And it doesn't make any sense because what is he gonna sit there and do? Oh, Jocelyn knows that you're a double agent? Like really? He's kept you out of the limelight, out of the spotlight for Ross, which is why he was able to sit there and talk to Ross, get that information in the first place. Like what are we doing at this point? CK says Chelsea seems so impulsive, so I give the relationship May at the very least Chelsea would find a way to sabotage it. I'm surprised she. I mean, to be fair, she kind of did a couple of times. Though, you know, I agree with that. Booster, how long have you been watching General Hospital? If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been watching General Hospital? And yeah, Domex, I said that from day fucking one. That it was about lust. It was never about. Wow, okay, that's a long time, Booster. Okay, that's what's up. I've said that a long time ago because honestly, tell you the truth, again, on paper, like you know, I'll say this again because, like, fuck it, why not? Madison deals with life and death situations. Chelsea was panicking about not posting because she wanted to make sure she didn't fall out the good graces of the algorithm, right? That's her biggest fucking thing. She isn't there telling people good news or bad news on a daily basis. You're sitting there making sure that you got your hair and makeup on point to make sure that you get good engagement. And here's the thing, I'm not trying to say that to like shit on influencers or whatever, because, whatever. But like, 1 second, I'm I'm not dating a doctor and being like, hey, listen, honey, just to let you know we're on the same level. You know that, right? You know that what me and you do, we're both on the same level, okay? We both are on the same level of importance when it comes to our society. Fucking no, I'm not doing that because I'm fucking self aware, which is something that Chelsea clearly lacks. And Madison, like I said, fucking less. And says, do you think Beyond the Gates are going to let Bill and Andre come to blows? At some point. It's weird, Ed, because like it's very like rare when you actually do get to sit there and see a fight scene. Right? Like it's very, very rare. Right? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing, Ed. We watch these classic soaps and we've seen like the actual like two women fighting, they're going at it and stuff like that. And what did we see this week? Lucy and Ava Smith, they're sniping at each other like they're in fucking high school. Um, we saw them sniping at each other like they're both of these women are in their fucking grandma age, and they're going back and forth about 1 second, but about like Sitwell and shit. Like, what the fuck are we doing at this point? Exactly, Allison. Well, yeah, and like if we was able to watch that, but you know what I mean. Max says if we ever think about how they met, Chelsea Louis picked up Madison at a bar and started spitting game. It was a build up like hook up from the beginning. Exactly. Now Spikework says, who do you think gets physically who do you think gets physical? Jacob Smitty, because one of them for sure is going to get banged up big time. I I mean it can go either way, right? Because if Jacob gets hurt, then it's going to delay. What's good, Queen Jess? Then it's going to delay um Naomi not saying anything. Not Naomi not saying anything about her health. So it could probably most likely wind up going with Jacob, want to go with Jacob. But that's the thing, though, CK. But that's what Smith is saying. Like, I mean, that's cool, Ed, but like, I'm more really talking about the stuff that we've seen, right? Like, times have definitely changed, and they have not always changed for the best. And Susan said it's good to see you guys. Times have not definitely changed for the best, right? Like it was honestly, to tell you the truth, it was so sad and pathetic that I didn't even talk that much about it in my review. I don't give a shit about Ava and Lucy going at it about Sitwell. Like what who cares? They're going at it at a nail salon. Fucking One Life to Live, you had Natalie and Jessica fucking fighting. Not these two old grandmas that they're sniping at each other. You know? I said that's why I miss Vicky and Doran going at it because they had layers and other things on. in their lives, and when they would have scenes, it would be good. Yeah. Jess says, yeah, I can't believe these 7 year olds are fighting over Sitwell. You know, it's actually really funny. There's a point where Lucy walks out and she says something about Ava's age. I don't exactly remember what it was, but it was like something like, oh, well, you know, you're 1 second, Spider. Um, she says something about Ava's age. And it was like, Lucy, you do realize that you're older than Ava, right? She says something about her age, like, "Oh, well, you know, like you're old and dusty," or something like that. I was like, "Girl, Lucy, you're older than she is." I was like, "What are you talking about?" So quick says, "Here's what I think will happen. Then Perry will find out about Smitty and want Jacob to or Smitty or put a big beating on him if they're that creative." Listen, you know, and here's the thing. I have sat there and said that I have sat there and said a couple of times that I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that they actually did show something about that undercover operation because usually they don't. Usually don't, you know? But that's what I'm sitting there saying, though, medics. That's what I'm saying, though, medics. It just, yeah, no, that's true, Ed. That's true. So, like I said, you know, the scene, exactly. So, like I said, the scene with Ava and, like, it just came across as pretty lame, right? But you know, that's what I said as like it's a different time era, you know. Just as I also don't care who Portia baby daddy is. See, I guess for me, I just look at it and you know, Ed said something that was really interesting. Ed actually said a couple of things that was really interesting. My thing is, I feel like it has to be Isaiah's baby because Isaiah, listen, Isaiah don't have shit that's going on outside of Portia. Outside of Portia, he don't have anything else going on for him, and that's pretty fucking sad. You know, Saturday we did a whole RJ Gannon night. I'm like, you know, listen, it would be really cool if they linked RJ Gannon from One Life to Live and Isaiah Gannon from General Hospital. Yeah, they don't have anything going for him, so it's like you're not, you know, like as I said, you need to do something with him outside of Portia. Now, listen, the writers are writers, so let them. Yes, yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Um, they need to do something with him. I don't. Yeah, CK, I don't remember if you said in my comment section, but yeah, I agree with that. I just don't want her to lie or switch the DNA. Either she lies and switches the DNA, or Isaiah lies and he switches the DNA. Like, but I don't know if it would be. It could be Isaiah. I don't see him switching the data, switching the DNA because he seems like he's like, hey, listen, I'm freaking out on the inside, but I'm not going to sit there and put that on Portia. So for him to sit there and say he's freaking out about it, but then like switch the results and shit, would just be fucking stupid, you know? So yeah, you got she was with not him. Yeah, I can see her doing that more than him. Um, and also, and that's the thing. Just going back to Lucy. You know, when Lucy was like, "Listen, you're gonna have to sit there and either choose me or Ava." I'm like, "You're talking to fucking Sitwell. Like, what are you talking about? Like, girl, Lucy, you have a better chance at trying to repair your relationship with Scotty if you can find him than you throwing ultimatums at Sitwell talking about, well, I don't want you sitting there hanging out with Ava anymore. You're going to choose me or her. Yeah, you can go now. It's like, you can go now. Like, girl, you can't sit there and read the room and not understand that this guy does not do fucking ultimatums. And that's the thing though. Like with Lucy, Lucy gets upset with that, and then goes to Sonny talking about, "Well, I want you to sit there and beat up Sitwell for me because he didn't cave to my demands." Girl, you're in your 70s. What are you talking about? She made herself look stupid as usual. I mean, Jess, she's been making herself look stupid for a long time. She's been doing that most of her life, but the problem is that GH has made her look more like a joke now than they did back then when she was on the show. There used to be a time where it's like she would do some stupid shit, but they didn't make her look like the butt of a joke or like chick don't have fucking brain cells. Like CK says I was commenting on Isaiah being late. Okay, yeah, I think I did read that part. Yes. So like that's the thing, Jazz. So like we like I said, we did this whole night of Lucy like from her earlier days. Um, wouldn't it make her look like the butt of a fucking joke? You know? So like, it's like listen, I get it. The chick, she wants to be on the show. She wants to have a fucking paycheck, and yes. And Cody, Mister Self-Loathing, right? Mister Self-Loathing. Oh, I'm gonna sit there and read Pride and Prejudice, so this way I can understand what what um what Molly was Smith there saying about my character. Cody, Molly already told you what she thought about your character. She literally sat there and said, well, if you would have read ahead, you would have understood that my character felt differently about your character over time and saw you more than just a bumbling idiot and arrogant and this, that, and the third. Tracy walks up to you and it's like, oh, you're reading a book. And he gets all butthurt, like, oh, well, you sitting there thinking I can't read? But then she asks him later on, well, how far did you get into the book? Not that far. Bro, you just, like, bro, you just sat there and said, you just got upset, like, oh, I can read. Bro, how long have you been reading that book? Were you stuck on pages or something like that? Like, what are you doing? And listen, it's going to take me some time to sit there and get used to the fact that Tracy is being the matriarch and giving advice and not because Tracy years ago would have been like, I'm sorry, what did you say to me? Now she would have gave some advice or whatever, but she wouldn't have been as gentle as she is now. Um, which honestly, tell you the truth, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because, like I said a couple weeks ago, Cody, you are still sitting there keeping secrets. You knew damn well where her dad was, that he was held captive, and you didn't say anything. But yet you want to get butt hurt now. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna get the train in a second, Ed. Um, now you want to sit there and get on your high horse talking about, oh, like, y'all gonna get together and it's gonna blow up apart anyway. So like, why the fuck, like? I should tell you the truth, Ed. It wasn't really much to train out. Like, yeah, she said that, and it was like, I sat there and I said this. I don't care how you get to this point. I just need you to be less annoying. Like she said that she was going to cool her temperament down for the sake of the baby. Whatever, Trina. That's why I said Jess. That's why I'm just like, I don't care. It was like, honestly, tell you the truth, Jess, when he first got upset and he was going off at her, and she was like, they're trying to explain herself. I was like, first of all, you sat there and you read some shit that you weren't supposed to read, but okay, fine, fuck it. You getting that angry and that butthurt because she called you an idiot and stuff like that. Okay, cool. You want to be upset about it? Fine, I get it. We all have feelings. It is what it is. But you taking this shit to a level like I, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't know if I can sit there, bro. Like I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not sitting there trying to emasculate you because we all have fucking feelings. But like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, no one's that they're saying that a man isn't allowed to cry, but like you taking this like you doing way too much, bro. I'm not trying to stereotype anyone either or gender whatever, but like you doing a little bit too much, you know. And not to mention, again, I didn't care about the scene because I'm like you've been hiding a secret for a while. So it is. Well, that's the thing, Justin. Like, uh, it's it's hilarious. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Booster, like even on Beyond the Gates, they do tend to sit there and write a lot of men as spineless and don't bother to push back or anything like that. So, but yeah, yeah, again, just with the whole Trina thing, I don't care how you got there. I just need you to sit there and just stop being so goddamn annoying. Yeah, and I exactly, and like just I agree with you on that. Yes, that is very true, Allison, and I that is very true. So it's so dumb. Just as where is the Haley story going on Beyond the Gates? One minute she's trying to get rid of him, the next she wants all his attention. They've been stretching out the Haley. Listen, and that's the thing, Jess. When it first started, and we found out that like Haley wasn't this bimbo, and like she wants to sit there and get rid of him, clean him for his worth. Cool, fine. I was here for it. I was ready for it. The story has been kind of going up and down, you know. And now they added that other chick. I forgot her name, um, which is kind of good because, like, okay, cool. Now it gives Haley a bit of an obstacle because it's like she has somebody from her past and she doesn't want that to be exposed. So she got that going on too. It's actually funny, Jess. Like, is the show? I think the show is actually going to be a year. It's going to be close to a year now. Yeah, I think it's in a couple of weeks or whatever. It's going to be close to a year. So like, thank you, CK. Um, that's how I. Okay, that's initially how I felt about the show. When Beyond the Gates first came on, they had their intro. She was driving this expensive car, playing real fucking music. I was super excited. I was very fucking hyped. And then the disappointment started to come in. You know, Danny, with the gun, but not actually shooting anybody. Like little things started to just slowly kind of made you realize that like this show is not necessarily cracked up. You know what I'm saying? Like you start to get slowly disappointed. You know, the Gen Z talk is what really started to just kind of annoyed me. Oh, okay, thank you, Ed. Yeah, I knew it was coming up soon. But yeah, Booster, like like I said, when it first started, I was like, man, we were all waiting for that shit. We were all waiting for just different reasons. Let's be honest, definitely representation. And you start to sit there and see beyond that, and you're just like, oh, well, this show is not necessarily cracked up to, you know, it definitely does help Booster. It definitely does help. I mean, it helps me sit there and sell it helps me sell the Young and the Restless better, which is really sad. Um Bold and the Beautiful doesn't really need a lot of selling. The show is easy to watch, it's easy to pick up. You don't have to sit there and watch the show all the time to understand what's going on. You just need a quick synopsis or somebody to sit there and tell you what's going on. And you pretty much kind of caught up at this point. I know it takes a little bit more work, but you know, so yeah, oh goddamn yeah. I mean, yes, Ed, Wino has definitely been stepping up. I heard about that poster. Wino has definitely been stepping up. What are they doing with Derek? I was hoping he was going to leave the show. I just, he just gets worse and worse. Just says nobody cares about those two kids, Terrell, and I forgot her name. They're boring. Samantha. I, yeah, I mean, listen, it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste with Days of Our Lives, with the supernatural stuff, you know. Terrell and Samantha, I don't care enough about their characters, and I think as well, with Samantha, Samantha is for a couple reasons. Samantha, first of all, the girl is supposed to sit there and try to act. The girl's supposed to be playing like she's 16. The chick look like she's fucking 30, and it's so weird to sit there and have. It's so Samantha has just been one of those characters because it's just like. Well, I mean, I get it, Allison. I mean, for a couple of reasons, religion and all sorts of reasons. But yeah, she doesn't work because she's a 30-year-old that you're trying to act like she's a teenager. And then the other thing that doesn't work for me is the Gen Z talk. I can't sit there and listen to somebody who is going to talk in half sentences. Okay. when she was talking about how Bad Bunny wasn't avails, I was like, again, I'm like, girl, you couldn't be bothered to sit there and say available, really? And that's how she talked all the fucking time. So it's like I just like every time the character talks, I'm just like, I don't care. Now Dolomedic said the Samantha is going to be a problem after a while. She's 30 and eventually that's going to be weird on screen. It's gonna be. But yes. Um and that's the thing, CK, right? Like they couldn't yeah, exactly. That's exactly CK. That was just like what? Um and also I'm just like, what is just going back to like what is Derek's function on the show? What is Derek's function on the show? Like, okay, the dude is not going to be a fireman anymore. He's not dating Ashley. He's not dating anybody on the show. He comes on every now and then to act all fucking weird to Ashley. Um, and the sad thing is that, like, there's one time where he is somewhat right, right? Like, he's like, listen, there's something off about this new, what's the fucking doctor's name? Grayson. Like there's something off about that Grayson character. He did just leave in the middle of them getting together. But then he comes up with a story talking about, oh, well, my mother has Parkinson or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, now we know what it is. So, like, again, Derek, why are you still on the show? Like, what, you gonna sit there? I feel like a lot of times he's sitting there talking to Jan. I'm like, bro, are you gonna sit there hook up with Jan or something? Because, like, there's not really much room I see for you on the show. Well, Max says it reminds me of EastEnders when they did that, and now that the character is over 50, so you got this gray hair old man with this beautiful young blonde that's he's calling my oh yeah okay yeah that's definitely problematic right there. Jessica was being annoying at the ball today. Um, Walking around with this attitude and everything like girls look there acting like somebody's pointing a gun to her head, you know. And the sad thing is, just like I don't. She was being annoying. CK said, "I have no idea Derek's purpose on the show. He and Ashley were born, and now she is somewhat interesting now that Grayson is in the picture." Um, yeah, I don't get that part. Um, that's always a blessing. That is always a fucking blessing. The sad thing is that Vanessa is also annoying, right? Leslie is worse than Vanessa, but I can't help but sit there and every time I see Vanessa, I'm like, ah, shit, here we fucking go. Um, Leslie's scenes are just fucking unbearable to watch at times. Like even her coming at Shanice and Shanice being like, hey, listen, I stepped away from Ted because you know what, listen, I have pride and self respect. And Leslie's not there talking about, oh, well, you're gonna be lonely in your bed. I'm like, so let me just sit there and get this straight. Dick is more of a priority for you than self respect. Okay, I got it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, she was being annoying. And you know, again, this is Echo Smith is saying like, she just told him like, yo, I'm moving in, we're gonna be together, this, that, and the third. I'm like, you are just so fucking pathetic. You know, I'm not gonna lie. There's something about the fact that she is so desperate. She constantly throws herself at Joey. It's just like it's so annoying to watch. You know, I would sit there and say it's definitely hell of annoying to watch. But that's the scenes that we have to sit there and see when we're seeing her. You know. And her consciousness is saying that like she's this boss chick and she can handle things or whatever. It's like if Randy wasn't there, unless you know fucking Tai Bo or martial arts, what did you thought that that guy was gonna do to you when he got up in your face? And, you know, it's actually kind of ironic, you know, CK. She wants to be valued in a relationship, but yet devaluing, she was devaluing her fucking husband. Exactly, Jess. I'm like, girl, can you calm the fuck down? Like, and it again, it just shows you like either she just has no self awareness or she has no fucking survival instincts. You know, I mean, granted, yes, she was in a public place. You know, like the dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the dude did grab her. Like, if he was able to sit there and grab her in a public place, he don't care about anybody in that room trying to stop her. I mean, trying to stop him from doing whatever he was going to do to her. And that's something that she didn't think about because she doesn't fucking think. But one second, then. Let me answer one question at a time. Okay, I'll answer this one. Yeah, and that's another thing, Ed. Like, and you know, that's actually a very good point. Oh, well, I calmed down the situation by reminding his wife what she gains to lose. I'm like, this dude had no problem just putting hands on you. You think he's going to give two flying shits about putting hands on his wife? You know, the sad part is, I can see in a couple of episodes that wife coming back with a fucking black eye. You know, and I listen. I know it's a story, whatever, but like, I would fucking in some way hate to be proven right. You know, I mean, listen. I've been over Eva Smith. They're trying to give guardrails towards Leslie. Like, you know, you've been with your mom for how many years? Have you been able to once stop her from doing anything? I mean, the sad thing, you know, the sad thing is like Eva is not as bad. Here's the thing: Eva is not as bad as Kat, because Kat can be over the top, but like Eva does have her, you know, her little annoying um problems. And the sad thing is that as much as people dislike Kat or hate Kat or whatever, I still think that Kat is a better character than Chelsea. I still think that Kat is a better character than fucking Chelsea. Mostly because Chelsea talks in complete fucking sentences. Um, and they're damn near the same fucking age, and she talks in complete sentences. Yeah, she has a way of being kind of fucked up when she talks to some people, but like, you know, I can at least sit there and listen to her. So I don't know. Have a good night, Booster. Thank you for joining. I mean, yeah, it's not a hard fix if you just recast Samantha, but like that's like one problem down, X amount to go. You know, I mean, it's a start. Oh, Jess, you know what? Since I told Jonathan, and granted, I don't know if you will care or not, but I will sit there and say this much, Jess. You know those shorts that I'm sitting there doing. I actually have a short series that I think you'll like. So I'm not gonna say what it is because I know how much you love surprises, but I do have a short series that I think you'll like, and that's all I'm gonna say. Now, CK said even is an enabler. She tries to play victim and, and excuses her mother's behavior while at the same time her mother Ted telling her mother's Ted's personal business. That's true too. That's absolutely true too. You know, for her, you know, and again, even in the beginning when she was like, you know, I felt so bad for what my mama did to you. And Kat was like, you know, listen, you knew about your mother's plan for a while. If you really felt bad, you should have told us. You didn't. I tried to stop her, but you didn't try to stop her. Because if you actually tried to stop her, you would have told them the truth. So don't sit there and try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. She wants to sit there and be like, well, I tried to stop her. It's like, no, you didn't. And you know, Eva, you're not a fucking idiot, but you do try to play this victim mentality in a sense, you know? So like, you know, this is why I don't do the whole I'm team this and I'm team that or whatever. People love to sit there and be team Eva, but they don't like to sit there and point out when she's fucked up at times. Now, Ed says Beyond the Gates needs to recast Tomas, give Vernon something to do, give the men backbones, and better give better us of people's jobs on the show. Oh, better use of people's jobs in the show. Yeah, I mean that's just a overall fix. And yeah, I mean, granted, I've been sitting there saying that for a hot minute. Um, but Michelle, you know, whatever that woman's name is, she feels she knows what she's doing. So whatever. Okay. As much as I would love to sit there and continue this conversation, I do have to wake up early in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, I'm gonna end the stream here, but I will be back on Friday. Back on Friday. We'll sit there and chop it up. We'll have more time since I don't have to wake up so early on Saturday. Kind of hard to replace the founder of the show that wrote the show. But have a good night, Ed. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Dolomedics. Thank you. Have a good night, Susan. Have a good night, CK. Thank you for coming through. It's always good to see you, Susan. Have a good night, Quiet Guy. You know my cheesy joke of, you know, I probably didn't hear from you all night because, you know, you're quiet. Yep, that's right. So cringy. Have a night, Allison. Have a night, CK. Thank you again. Have a night, Queen Jess. Have a night, Spiderquake. Have a night, Ed. Have a night, Jonathan. I feel like there's more people I need to say goodnight to. But like, oh yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Even though I've been sitting there saying, oh, like all night. I hope people have been hitting the like button. Um, have a good night, Kaiwan. Even though I didn't say hi to you. Queen of the South, Amy H. Have a good night, Blackmon, and anybody else who I missed, you know who you are. And yeah, I'll see ya. And there we go. I was waiting for you. I was like, where'd you go? Johnson says, join us next time for another edition of Soul Chat with Albert Bostic. Says goodnight and hit the like button on the way out. And thank you again, CK, for coming through. Always appreciate you. Oh wait, hold on. I wish you would actually gave that earlier. Um, but I will put it in the I will put it in the. Oh no, it's fine. No, I wish you would have did it earlier. I would have put it in the pin comment. Of course it's okay, though. Like you know that. Yeah, you already know it's okay, Max. Also, yes, definitely check out Dolomedic's link. Domex, you've been on my team for years. Like you have nothing to feel guilty about. Um, I also chat. I will be sitting there leaving that link for Dolomedic's app page in the description box. So if you don't click on it now, which you should, click on it in the description box. In the description box after I do the live. Yeah, Jonathan. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it was definitely a lot. Let me make sure that it definitely was a lot. Have a good night, Jess. Wow. Okay. Thank you for coming through. Always appreciate seeing you. I think I got it now. No problem, Domex. No problem. I just it took me a second. I had to sit there and like get the link. So yeah, I would definitely. Oof, I do not need to hear my voice. But yeah, I would definitely sit there and leave the link in the description box below. So after the live stream ends, definitely check that out. Definitely support Dolomedics. Um, I'm liking the story that he's doing. I already have my favorite character anyway. So, all right, I will sit there and see y'all in Friday's stream, and yeah, laters.